alright. Every time I say I'm gonna go early the next day, Ass Hattery happens. And, all right within the half an hour or hour time frame that I was going to go live early in, his family was being dumb about something. And then he had to wrangle it, and he was in and out, and I couldn't let the cat out because he wasn't paying attention. And anyway, sorry, we're here. I'm going to omit a few things from this final piece, mostly because I don't really have the room to put it in. Like, he put that big ash tree in the middle, and it's gonna cut off the other tree, and I don't really want it in there. It's our piece. We can do whatever we want, as Bob says. We're just kind of using him for guidance and direction. And I've made an executive decision that I don't need to be this stressed out coming into Christmas and everybody's being dumb. And so we're just gonna do what we want. Just gonna do what we want. So we are going to add our water in here. So it is Tuesday, it's not Wednesday. It is Tuesday. It's the day before Christmas Eve. I hope everybody's having a good day. I hope everybody can hear me alright. I didn't get that much sleep because Bean was being a brat. Every time I turned over, he was in my face trying to bite my nose. He was meowing all night for different reasons, and I'm like, dude, it's sleepy time. It's not playtime. But he very much wanted it to be playtime. And he did not want to play independently with his toys. He wanted me to entertain him while I was trying to sleep. And as it was, I didn't get to sleep till late anyway, because I found out a vlogger I watch from time to time had passed away very suddenly. And I didn't find out till right before I was going to bed. I was like, wait, what? So then I fell down a rabbit hole of what people were saying or what was going on and all that. So we're just gonna add in our water here on this guy. And I think I might add a little bit of green to the edge of the water. I don't know if I want to put it in before I do the water or after. Maybe we'll do it after here. But then there was like somebody in the family wanted a family heirloom. It was crazy.
Drop the keys in the pocket where my mother's and not mine.
So they were digging around about this family heirloom, and oh, they wanted this to pass down to so and so, and so he wrote a bill of sale up because they were gonna buy it off of Russell's to give him some monetary value for it, so he could get something else, or at least get something out of it, because we don't have kids to pass it down to. And then when he walked out there with everything he typed up, then they're like, no, put it in this person's name, so that way if they ever get divorced, it stays in the family and it's not considered family property. So then he had to come back in and write up a new bill of sale, and then he went back out because they were going to take it up Christmas Day when his mom goes up to his aunt's house. And then I'm like sitting here waiting for him to come back so we can let the cat. He goes, let me just drop this off, I'll be right back. And he wasn't coming back, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And just as I message him, where are you, he comes back up to the house, and I'm like, he's like, oh my god, these people. And he had the heirloom with him again, and I'm like, what is going on? And then apparently this person was gonna give the person that wanted it someone else's heirloom to be passed down, who recently passed away, and his mom doesn't want to outshine her sister's moments of handing this over. I'm like, outshine? The kid that they want this thing for is 3. They can't even do anything with it till later. This whole thing feels weird. Like, why not wait until they're older and can appreciate it and then see about things and stuff? Like, this is dumb. And to just be sitting in somebody else's closet or what have you, it felt weird. It felt really, really weird. And he comes back with it. He goes, okay, well, nobody's getting it now for the time being. He goes, I don't understand it. He goes, let them have their stupid moment. We're not collecting any money. The thing is staying with us until after the holidays at the very least. He goes, I'm so done with this back and forth nonsense. Okay. So all that, and then it was for nothing. So sorry we're late for nothing. I was waiting to start till they got themselves situated. Don't tell me they changed their minds again.
No. I have to give my mom a couple small containers for me to get some of her spinach if I want.
I thought she had a container for you.
I don't think she does. I just want a couple small ones. I can't eat that much of it.
Oh, because she said she had new ones.
I don't think that's the size for me, though. I don't think it's like portion size. I think it's like big things.
Oh my god. His mother is the bringer of chaos. I swear to God. So we're just kind of filling in some water down in here. This one didn't really match, and that's fine. We kind of started doing our own thing after we kind of got the concept of what he wanted to do and realized that what he was doing didn't quite work out for what I personally could pull off with this. And that's fine. There's going to be those ones that happen like that. It's okay. It's not a huge issue. So right now we're just kind of working on getting our water filled in. I'm going with less is more sort of situation here. Just to try to slowly work in. I'm okay if there's some of the dark brown showing through. It's okay. It could be stones peeking up. I jumped ahead because he spent 15 minutes putting in that one tree, or 10 minutes. Excuse me. Putting in that one big tree and then highlighting it. And I'm like, I don't want that big tree in there. My other trees are super tall. If I had realized we were putting a super tall tree in, I would have made these guys shorter. And I didn't want to ruin those trees. I like how that tree came out. And I want to cover it. And then he was putting rocks in, and I'm like, I don't have enough real estate to be putting specific rocks in and like a tiered waterfall. Like, if I had realized that that's what I needed to do here, I would have left myself a lot more room. But, you know, some of them work out better than others. Some of them we have to modify. This is one of the ones that we're modifying. That's just kind of the way it goes. A, when you're working tiny, and B, when you're working with a completely different medium. Than than the original, and that's okay. I'm just gonna fill this in a little bit. This color is Seafoam Blue. It's part of the Paint Box Simply Chunky line. It looks like it's gonna rain. The road was wet when we went out this morning, and there were some puddles on the ground, so I guess it rained at some point in the early hours, like right before we left. Take the dogs to the park this morning. Yes. But it was very, very bizarre. Get in! Get!
I see him. He's fine. He's just kind of looking at me. He didn't run. He didn't jump. He didn't do nothing. It's okay.
It is 71.
Yes, it is. Oh my god.
Like, we weren't predicted to have rain, but the road was definitely wet and it was definitely puddly, so it had to have been like a quick shower that popped up, and now it's unless it was fog that condensed that hard on the ground. There's nothing on this radar. Okay, there's some stuff out there. I don't know if our radar's just bad here. We're in like a bit of a radar hole in our particular neck of the woods. Like, we rely on like 3 different radars to triangulate what's going on in our specific area. Okay, so I'm just trying to put a little bit of shrubbery in here. So we might be done a bit early. So we might, I don't know what we're going to be doing on Mondays for a bit. I'm supposed to be getting a latch hook rug. I kind of want to work on that on stream. I kind of want to do some embroidery projects on stream. We might do that on Mondays for a bit. I feel like maybe it should be in place of beetle felting instead, though. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I'm just not sure. Like, part of me is like, well, we could take the 3rd game day away, or one of the 2 game days away, and do some more arty stuff in place of it, for a little while. But I also wanted to get back to Dinkum on stream, which I think we're gonna do as soon as I wrap up Moonstone Island, but I also have a new game I want to look at. Husband looked at one of the 2 new games I picked up. He goes, yeah, there's not much substance to it. It's pretty much open world. They give you a quick tutorial about how to do a few things, and then they throw you into the deep end, and it's like, figure it out on your own. There's no real story. There's no real objectives after a certain point. I'm like, oh. Okay, well, I'm glad I only spent like $3 on it. I might save Bookbound for when we're done. For when we're done Little Known Galaxy. That might be fun to put up on the YouTube channel. I have to get some more Little Known Galaxy recorded. because I would very much like to be ahead of the game on that. Right now I have enough to take me into the very beginning of February, recorded and edited and uploaded. So I've got that scheduled. But I'd like to be quite a bit further on that than I currently am. But then that takes away time from me editing the tissue paper project. I did complete video clip 124, got through 125 entirely, and I am now working on video clip 126, but that's a long guy. That was just over 2 hours, so that's going to take me a few days of dedicated paying attention to get through that one. And probably not getting any editing done on Wednesday at all. Christmas Eve, because we have we're making pizza for dinner, and after dinner I think we're gonna go out and do our traditional drive around of looking at Christmas lights. And oh, excuse me, did not really sleep last night. And just choking up my own spit. I did not grab a drink. Dang it. Oh, my allergies are also freaking out. It was in the 30s and the 40s. And now we're at 71 degrees 2 days before Christmas. Like, what in the actual frick is happening? I mean, I know some parts of the country are this warm on Christmas. This is generally not one of them. I mean, we've been this warm in the beginning of December before, but it's been weird. And now I'm just like, why is this so dang warm right now? And there's like a specific tree in this area that we think is what's hitting us, or at least me, pretty hard over the winter. I don't know what's affecting me the rest of the year, but this particular one, we think it's this mountain cedar, juniper, or whatever the fuck it is, that's causing me all kinds of grief with my eyes being so irritated, and it is windy. And oh my gosh, not a fan of this at all. And I don't particularly enjoy being this hopped up on allergy medicine all of the time. I'm gonna store the... Oh, there we go. Store the needle. I thought I did that backwards. Okay, so we're gonna take the tape off of this. Piece of tape that I stuck over there yesterday and forgot about. So give me that. Okay, I'm gonna stick the mat off to the side for now. And this is, where'd it go? Here it is. it's infinitely easier to do this before it's been trimmed. This is a really thick guy here. Like he's pretty thick. So I want to take our razor that we use to clean the mat, and I am going to shave down the back of this so it's not hopefully thicker than our than the width of our frame. I need this to hopefully not make the frame float. So we're just gonna give it a little trimmy trim. And the front will be fine. We've done this for a few now. We're just trying to remove the extra fuzz that we don't necessarily need. Like, everything's in the front. It's not going anywhere. Like, we're good. So. I almost said screw it and just Planet Zoo today, but we'll do Planet Zoo tomorrow. I am eager to try to get done as much as I can in there. Especially now that we know Zoo 2 is coming. I got new scissors with some Christmas money. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. And we had a gift card for something. And I was like, you know what? I feel really silly spending money on this, but like I felt silly spending gift money on it because it's something I needed. But at the same time, I was like, if I don't get them now, like when am I gonna get them? You know? I needed a small pair. Hopefully they will cut the wooden sticks without too much trouble. Hopefully. But we will see about that. Alright, that's probably as flat as I'm gonna get that. Okay, so this is our backing for our magnet. I haven't painted it yet. I am going to attempt to line this up here. So we did go a little bit beyond our shape here. All right, I want some of that waterfall visible. So some of the tops of the trees will end up getting cut off here. Is this not gonna cut? There we go. Can get a little bunchy. I was concerned that maybe I should have gotten the heavy duty ones, but maybe I should have. But this is what we're rolling with here. it can be a little difficult to cut through if your scissors are not up to the task. Like, okay, so these scissors just aren't that great because it said it cut felt, and I'm like, okay. It thinks it can cut felt. Or my hands are just terribly, terribly weak. So possible. My hand strength is not great. It never has been. At one point, when I had to do child study team classes, in school, they were telling my mom that I needed to get the modeling clay from like Crayola or something, the stuff that doesn't dry out, that was like the 4 sticks wrapped in the wax paper that had like red, blue, yellow, and green. And that I needed to use that to work my hands, to strengthen my hands, because they were concerned with how little hand strength I had, and I'm like, really? Okay, so we didn't lose too much. Now, the question is, did I get... Oof, that's a thick boy there. Did I get enough of this trimmed off? Is the question now. And I don't know that I did. I needed to lay in here. Need to make sure I don't cut my backing here. Alright. So, after we've done all of our trimming, this is what we are left with, essentially. I might need to try to trim that down just a little bit more, but we'll see. Alright, so now can I set this? We'll have that kind of, that, we'll put it up here. It's kind of visible. Gonna get our brown paint and our brush. This is just a shoebox container lid from like the Dollar Tree on their little cheap shoebox organizers. I don't know, maybe I'll put you up here. I'm just kind of using it as a dish to put our paint on. We need to sign this guy. So I want this to be the piece or the side. Oh, I guess I didn't have to paint this side. And have this be the side that gets the glue, but signature's on one side, so that's all that really needs to happen here. Alright, whatever color you want to paint these is fine. I kind of wanted the frames to be a little more colorful, but ended up just going with a more traditional brown. We could have gone with like a dark hunter green here. Potentially even like a peach color. But right now it was just easier for me to keep one specific shade out instead of constantly having to unstack everything to dig out the next shade of whatever we were gonna do. So as far as art projects go for the next year, I kind of want to focus on using up a bunch of stuff that I have. I have a bunch of tissue paper still, so we might try to use up some of that. I don't necessarily have to put that on canvas. Canvas is a little bit sturdier for it, but I have some wood panels that we could use as well, tucked away. So I'd already started to paint the other side before I realized I didn't need to, but I just ended up finishing painting that. Nobody's gonna see the other side unless this thing completely falls apart or somebody rips it apart. So I'm just gonna do one main coat on everything, and then after we're done making the frame and everything is glued together, then I will come back at the very end and do a touch-up coat. And that'll be our very careful second coat. Yeah, so I'm thinking we might, instead of painting for a bit, we might work on our latch hook. I don't know how long that'll take me. It depends on how big the latch hook actually ends up being. It's hard to tell with the way it came because the canvas for those is folded up on itself multiple times. So I'm not entirely sure how big it's actually going to be when it's unfolded. I can look at measurements but can't necessarily visualize how big that is or how small that is unless I'm like looking at a ruler. And I didn't look at the ruler when I picked it out. I liked the design. I'm like, that one. I had a different one selected and then I saw this one and I was like, I kind of like this one better. So we're just gonna scrub that in there. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. Now I haven't plugged in the glue yet. The glue, I can't talk today. I have not plugged the glue gun in yet. I need to wash pellets or clean pellets tonight. I've got the gouache palette from yesterday. Kind of need to clean that up so I can put that away. But I was gonna do it last night, but we didn't get the dishes finished last night. Other stuff kind of came up. Yeah, so Christmas Eve, we were doing dinner. I usually made, for a couple years, I would make orange chicken on Christmas Eve, but the husband doesn't really like it. So we're having pizza. He got a cast iron skillet for Christmas. He got that early. So he's gonna make his pizza in that and have like old school Pizza Hut deep dish pizza. And that makes him happy. My mom really hasn't been wanting pizza, so I'm like, what do you want? And she's like, egg salad sandwich. I'm like, on Christmas Eve? She goes, yeah. Yeah, alright. So then after we have dinner and we're cleaned up from that, we will be driving around to look at Christmas lights. It'll probably be like a half an hour. And then we get back, we're doing Christmas gifts. This was the one I wanted to use for my gouache palette scraper, palette knife. And I could not figure out which one it was. So then I thought, well, maybe I'm crazy and there wasn't a weird one here. I thought it was bent to the side, which is why I wasn't seeing it. That's alright. We'll do what we can with that. I have more, I just don't feel like digging another one out. I have a bunch more of these still. But yeah, I want to use up my tissue paper. Don't know what all I can do with it. I've got a couple ideas, but it's not like a tremendous amount. Sorry, there's a bunch of fuzz stuck on the end of that one. But fell asleep. That's not good. I'm not a youngin' anymore. I can't get away with sitting like that. And then after we do Christmas gifts, then then we're going to be settling in for a late night showcase of Home Alone with our adopted, not really adopted son, our friend Tyler. We joke that he would be our adopted son, that we've adopted him. He's our child now. He's like 10 years younger than us, so we joke that he's our kid. He's not. He's not. He's on grave shift schedule, so he's like, my schedule is open. I'm like, okay. So we will see after we get done everything else. We invited one of his D&D friends to watch with us, but it's their dad's birthday, so I don't know. We don't know if they're gonna be done doing what they were doing with his dad or what plans are for that yet. But if they're around, they said sure. Him and his significant other. We watched Muppet Christmas Carol on Sunday. Except the adopted, not adopted son friend, Tyler, was having Christmas with his family, because that was the only day everybody's schedules kind of merged where nobody was doing anything life-wise with work or whatever. And could actually all be in one place at one time. So he was busy with that on Sunday. So I saw somebody do something in a YouTube short, artsy wise, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want to do something like that. And I have the means to do it. I just have to figure out how I want to do it, sort of thing. And I have to make sure that what I have is gonna actually work for that. Oh. That one's splintered slightly. It happens. It's cheap wood. It's very cheap wood. Don't know if I'd be too happy if it did that when I went to use it, because it is a drink stirrer. If I saw that splintery when I went to use it, I'd be kind of mad. They weren't individually packaged either. Like, they just came all in a plastic bag. And I'm like, So I guess these aren't really meant to be out somewhere or for commercial use, right? Because that's not entirely sanitary, but they suit our purposes, so that's all that really matters. Probably should have plugged the glue gun in before we started, but Mr. Bean is on the loose because of this morning's shenanigans that caused us to start late. I swear. So, oh, cat's in trouble. I might have to go and deal with the cat for just a second. Let me finish doing that. Okay. So while we let the glue gun heat up here, give me like 2 minutes. I will be right back. I need to go see what the cat was being yelled at for. He might have been trying to get into the trash. Probably all it was. Sorry, this brush like really likes to hold on to paint. Just trying to make sure that we are as good as that's going to be. All right, give me just 2 seconds. Okay, sorry about that. It was just Bean, getting into everything and trying to put himself everywhere that he wasn't supposed to be. I was gonna plug it in a different place, but I don't know. Can I reach it? I don't know if I can reach it. Kind of reach it. Good enough, I guess. We're gonna let that start to heat up. We're gonna grab our first couple of stickies here. Just need to kind of make sure that we're somewhat even here. Got paint all over my fingernails. Well, over that fingernail. It's fine. Oh, you know what? Didn't I like lay this underneath last time? There's one. I have a flatter one. This one's flat. So let's see, to top and bottom. That's to there. Okay, so it's probably gonna be weird no matter what I do. This side's usually pretty square though. It's the top side where things get a little weird. Okay, that over there. Now the question is, will you you're like sticky already? Which could spell trouble for this pair of scissors not being all that great. I also was being stingy and didn't want to spend $20 on a pair of scissors. Fine. I can go there. I dropped it. It went flying and then I dropped it when I went to pick it up. Those are pretty close. Alright, give me 1 second here. Deal with this. One moment, you guys. I did it not once, but twice. Will really for them. That was a little crooked on that one. I was like, oh, what's that smell? It smells like hot glue. I'm such an idiot sometimes. I swear. Alright. Okay, set you over there. And I've got my glue cup from whatever we last did. So I use two glues for this. I use a little bit of tacky glue. Use a little bit of tacky glue on the frame itself, to hold the first few pieces into place. And then I come back in with the hot glue just to kind of make sure those pieces are in place. Then I smear the entire backing with hot glue. Not hot glue, our tacky glue. So that it will hold our fuzzy thing in place. I don't trust the hot glue to hold it very well, because it doesn't stay as wet as the tacky glue does for very long. That's a little long. A little long. Now, I use the hot glue in this section that I'm about to put it in, just to kind of get it to grip a little bit faster. Because it doesn't grip very quickly with the tacky. Just trying to get a couple of drops. I'm not flooding this. I know it looked like I was because of how much I was squeezing the trigger, but there was nothing coming out. That's why I was squeezing the trigger that much. And I'm transitioning between the stick that's in there and the new one. I'm trying to get it to grab. Okay. Yeah, but the tacky is slower to dry. So that is leaning outward. So I kind of just put a little bit on the edge here. That's gonna go face down. And I spread that out a bit. I use the brush because it's just easier to apply the glue that way. quite a bit different in length here. Why are you not sitting on the very edge where I want you to be? Alright, so I'm not like super worried about the glue on the edges. We can clean that up. Come on, hot glue gun. Are you being silly? I have to be careful here for when this thing decides to grip the rest of the stick here. There it goes. A lot more tension on the trigger now. Trying to be very gentle with it. Now have a bit of a gap there. Why? Was I putting these like on the edge? That one is pretty much not attached. That edge is not what I am looking for. Why are you not grabbing the new stick here? Just being difficult. Come on. I mean, it wasn't dripping out of the gun, so it might not have been fully up to temperature. So now, oh gosh, yeah. You need like the slightest trim here. Just a little bit more. Too much, too much. This might be too much. Okay, that will kind of fit into there. All right. And this one, I think I'm just gonna paint the edge here where I want it to sit. I'm not doing it super thick either, just thin. Make sure you rinse the glue out of your brush or you're gonna have an unusable brush fairly quickly. I mean, it's fine if that is the brush you want to keep for just glue. Whatever. That is my specific glue brush of the moment. Nothing wrong with that. But if you want to make sure that you continue to have a glue specific brush that is usable for you. Son of a bitch. I don't know where that went. I have no idea. I like kind of closed my eyes. That could be anywhere. Doesn't seem to be still in the scissor. I didn't feel it hit me. I don't know. That needed just the slightest bit of trimming. Oh, there's the glue. There it is. It was starting to drip out now. Do be careful when you are using your hot glue gun. They are hot. They're not a toy. They are dangerous. You can, in fact, hurt yourself pretty badly with them. So don't be silly and touch a nozzle or anything. So, yeah, you need a bit of trim. Don't want to go that one. I saw where that one went. Trying to be very careful. Oh, for fuck's sake. Give me a minute. Sorry, his mother needed something. God forbid, I should be in the middle of something. Are you just being dumb on purpose? Or no? Okay, so you need the slightest bit of trimming there. I know I cut it off. I have no idea where it went. I'll probably find it in my foot later. And then you went that way. Okay. So we need some more glue. Now, this is mainly just to kind of get the pieces placed, because in the end, it's all going to be attached to the needle felting itself. That end of that is still awfully loose, so it'll kind of be built around that. Alright, so again, we're going to rinse the glue out of that, so it will live to glue another day. Okay. And just kind of trying to make sure that that is as in there as it can be at this very moment. To make sure that that was the tacky glue getting bubbly. So having to do some pretty deep squeezes here. Now I'm running the nozzle that's hot over some of the larger gobs here. Just to try to make sure that we've got some kind of contact with everything. Might be all I need the glue gun for here, but I'm gonna give it just a second. Did you finish cooking?
Yeah.
Did you eat?
Yeah.
Just because the nozzle is hot, so it'll grab. Alright, so let's see how much more of this guy are we gonna need to trim? He's kind of fitting. I think I'd be comfortable taking off just a little bit more on that side. Okay, so sideways, that's pretty good. I think so we don't lose our pond. I'm gonna take up just the tiniest bit more off the top. Okay, that feels a little bit better. We don't have quite so much sticking out. Okay. Alright, so pry that out of there. Now, I'm not going to bother using the glue in the cup directly for this. Actually, this corner. Giving me all kinds of issues here. I'm gonna hold that for just a minute. Okay, and then any area where it might have gotten a little too built uppy, just rub the nozzle back over that. So I'm going to apply the glue directly to the piece here after I get the glue clog out of there. There we go, that's better. You'll see this is coming out pretty good here. So I don't want to like completely fill this up this thickly. I'm trying to make sure I've got a good amount on there. I am going to take the brush and I'm gonna slide that around a bit. Make sure that we've got our edges and corners pretty well slathered here. Get that spread around. All of its ooey gooiness. Kind of reminds me of marshmallow fluff. This is not marshmallow. Do not eat it. This is glue. Very much glue. So that's pretty good there. I've brought it up the inside edges of our frame just to give us more places for our piece to grip. Just making sure which way my signature is facing, because the last one I did, I assigned it and then put the piece in, finished it all up, looked at it. It was sideways to my signature. I was like, oh, that's real helpful. So, to use the edge, like one of our stubs that we have left over from one of these pieces that we've already put in here, extra bit, and I'm going to use that to push down on my corner, or my edge really, help kind of tuck that down. We managed to get that trimmed down pretty darn good there without it being short, so I'm happy about that. Just kind of using this to tuck our edges in, because when we put the frame on top, I didn't want the frame to be floating. All kinds of glue and sealer residue all over this desk, or all over the contact paper. Okay, now for the tricky bit here. Now we have to build the top pieces of our frame. Okay, so that's one piece. Second piece. Now don't fuss too much about the, so that needs to be like right on, I guess like right next to the pencil line really. Don't fuss too much about the pencil line, because we are going to do another paint pass. That one hit me in the face. At least I know where it went. When all is said and done here. Okay, so this guy. I mean, if you're really worried about it showing, you can always put that side face down. What I was looking for. I was like, I came over here for something. Okay. So now, I'm gonna dip back into my glue cup, and this is where your hands are gonna probably get messy, if they haven't gotten messy already. We're gonna work in our tacky glue on the piece that's going to build the top the front edge, the edge that faces you. Now, in the past, I've tried to use binder clips to help hold these in place. Sometimes it worked, sometimes not so much. Just kind of have to just sit with it. A minute just to kind of give that enough pressure to try to grab onto everything. I rinse that. Okay. My glue is dripping. What's wrong?
Oh, nothing. Mother just needed me to lock up the cat, and my mother needs some tape.
Your mom needs tape.
Yeah, she just asked for some tape.
What kind of tape? That is being a little silly still, so I need to put some pressure on that. So I would use binder clips from time to time. Sometimes it was too much pressure. I don't know if a clothespin would be too much force on it. Like, I need like a gentle clamp. I don't want to use tape because sometimes the tape can pull paint off. So sometimes I'll go a little bit heavier than others. Sometimes it's like, I don't know if I really need to go that heavily. Sometimes I feel like if it's too thick, it doesn't want to grip very well. Okay. So, alright, that's pretty much in place. And I'm gonna flip that back upside down. And I am pushing down. I'm not like pushing with all of my might, but I am pushing down. Kind of putting even pressure on both sides for a minute. Especially our corner sections where it's overlapping. And then we'll measure out the next pieces here. So, I mean, these scissors kind of cut this wood okay. I ended up getting rid of the other ones entirely. The gun can be cordless for quick amounts of time. You get it hot and you're quick do your thing and then reattach it. Okay. Alrighty. little glue flake in there. Okay, so next piece. There's a bit of a bow in it that I kind of want to put that bow side down. Oh, this one is just fighting us today. Not at all what I had wanted to do there, but things had other plans. That was way too much pressure. Sometimes these things are easier than others to pop together. Our glue wasn't quite cooperating at first either. Okay, so this guy, we are going to try to line up for where this needs to go. Oh. Right, so I kind of need to be like right on the line or just outside of it. Probably just outside of it. To be on the safe side. Now that did cut slightly crooked. Like I said, some of them put together a little bit easier than others. Okay, that's crooked. It was a crooked cut. It was a bad cut. But I think we're just gonna have to roll with it. Okay. So put our glue on this guy. Tiniest wood splinter ever. Just being fussy in there. Alright, let me rinse this while that's thinking about cooperating. dry that off so I don't get any water back in the glue. This is not an activity for you if you don't want to get your hands messy. I will very much say that. So next piece coming in here. So on there. Okay. And let's see if we can get this cut somewhat straight. Somewhat. Do a dry fit first. Make sure we didn't completely. Yep. We need to be just a smidge. Okay. That is probably as good of a fit as I am going to get there. Now we're not done yet after we get this piece in. After I get this piece in and we put some pressure on it, it's where I don't think it's going to move on us. We then need to do our touch-up round of paint. Okay. Alright, so there's that. Oh, what's wrong?
Nothing. Paint's loose skin.
Is my mom back in?
Yeah.
That was awfully fast for her. Alright, so we're just kind of making sure that is where that needs to be. Okay, I'm gonna set the glue cup aside. Now I need a smaller brush. This will probably do. Okay, so now I'm gonna I think I'm gonna do a fresh puddle. Just to make things a little bit easier, and that was way too much paint, but alright, so we're gonna start just touching up our edges here. I didn't actually paint the edges of this big square of the backer when we were painting the thing itself, mostly because I knew I was going to be coming back in. And doing some touch-ups. So it like wasn't that big of a deal. Right, we're gonna get the other side too. So I still have somewhere that's dry to be touching. And we can put the paint over the hot glue. Like that's fine. Kind of mad. I usually get a bit of a tighter seal on this edge here. For some reason, it did not want to have a tight, flat grip there. But you know what? It's alright. In the end, it is fine. It is something that we handmade. That's for certain. Sure, I don't want any paint on my wet paint on my fingers. Because wouldn't that just suck to ruin it if I had wet paint on my thumb there? So we're just doing some touchy-uppies here. Painting over any of the raw edges that are exposed after our trimming of our sticks here. Covering up any pencil lines that might be showing. We still want to have a careful hand here so we don't get carried away. And lose control of our brush. Especially with me and my fumble fingers. So I'm not like slopping this on, I am spreading it out here. I do want it to dry in somewhat of a timely manner. Okay. Now, very carefully with as steady of a hand as I can muster. I'm going to come back in and carefully touch up the edges here. Because I only did like a real quick once over when we were getting sorted. Like the first time it was just slap the color on. Doesn't have to be perfect because I don't know what sides are going to be facing up yet, sort of thing. But now we need to be careful because this is the front of the thing. And we're already glued in. So if we get any paint on that front of the piece, it's gonna live there. So you want to take your time with this. Don't necessarily want to rush through this part. And one last little section here to finish going over. Okay, now I'm gonna hold that up in front of the fan because it is toasty in here. Just to help that dry a little bit faster because I need to put it face down here to attach our magnet. Helps if I'm actually holding it in front of the fan. I looked away at something and suddenly hit me that I won't feel the fan blowing on my hand. So is everybody ready for the holiday? Anybody doing anything special? Do you have any specific traditions? Alright, we're almost dry. That might be dry enough. Alright, so I'm gonna drop that face down. I am going to grab our tiny bar magnets here. I've got glue on my fingers. So this is all I have left on these, so I need to order more of those at some point. Because we probably don't have enough to finish this series. I'll just have to hold on to them until I get more magnet or something. But you don't need much. This is super glue. Like a drop. And you're going to want to grab one of your sticks, your leftover pieces. So that you don't get your finger in the super glue. I didn't trust the magnets to hold with the hot glue. So super glue will ensure that they don't go anywhere. And we just kind of have to hold that in place for like almost a minute. Of course, if you get super glue on the end of that, don't retouch the magnet. Grab a new one. We have quite a few bits here that are left over. Now that won't be completely dry for like 24 hours, but it's somewhat gripping now. It's gripping enough for our purposes. And put one there. I'm gonna need more super glue soon too. Alright, so we'll grab our other one here. Okay. And we'll hold that one in place. Now, if you do get the super glue on the magnet itself, it will like kind of turn a crusty white. It's fine. It's just the way it's interacting with the magnet. Okay. I can still see that the glue is wet. I'm just gonna spread that out just a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna stick that in front of the fan just for a minute. For a second I thought that I had them on sideways. I was like, what did I just do? We're good. I need to make sure that this is good to be put up out of reach. That is probably pretty good. I've got some little glue residue bits. And there we go. So there is that one. And we got that one in the books. So I'm not sure if we're continuing on with the second one next week or not. I might just work on the latch hook both days. Just because it'll be something new for us to work on for a bit. So I might just want to have a couple easy weeks where that's just what we're doing. But there we go. I mean, it's not bad. For what it is, it's not bad. Could be better, yes, but you know, that's how it turned out this time. So we'll just end up wrapping it up there for today. Thank you guys for popping in and checking out this one wrapping up. We'll be back tomorrow for Planet Zoo and trying to finish up that centipede area and landscaping it and doing our signs and all that. And we have to landscape around the ATM that went in still. We need to finish up that little corner over there. So don't forget to follow the social links down below. That will take you to the Ko-fi, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channels. Don't forget to subscribe over on the YouTube channel. It is free to do that there. It will help the channel out quite a bit. as we are trying to get monetized over there. Don't know if that will ever happen, but we aren't monetized there. We are monetized here. So we will see how things go. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for Planet Zoo, but if I don't, I understand. It's Christmas Eve tomorrow. So have a good holiday if I don't see you. And until next time, everybody.